Have you ever wondered where the practice of yoga that has captivated millions worldwide truly originated from? This ancient discipline, with its roots deeply embedded in the rich soils of India, is more than just a mere physical exercise. It's a harmonious blend of physical, mental, and spiritual practices that aim to control the mind and achieve a sense of detached awareness. Yoga, today, is a universal phenomenon, practiced by individuals across the globe, regardless of their cultural, social, or religious backgrounds. It's intriguing to see how a practice that emerged centuries ago in a small corner of the world has now evolved into a global wellness movement. But yoga, my friends, is not just about striking a pose. It's a comprehensive practice that transcends the boundaries of physicality and delves deep into the realms of spirituality and mindfulness. And as we navigate through the complex labyrinth of its history, we'll uncover how it has evolved over time, adapting to the needs and aspirations of different eras and societies. So embark on this journey as we unravel the roots and evolution of yoga. Yoga, a practice deeply rooted in ancient Indian culture, dates back thousands of years. The earliest known references to yoga can be traced back to the Katha Upanishad, a sacred text that emerged around the 5th to 3rd centuries BCE. This was a time when spiritual enlightenment was sought through meditation and contemplation, and yoga was seen as a means to control the mind and achieve a state of detached awareness. Yoga is not a monolithic practice, but rather a rich tapestry of diverse schools, practices, and goals that have evolved within 3 major Indian religions: Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism. In Hinduism, yoga is used as a path to achieve spiritual insight and liberation, or moksha. In Buddhism, yoga practices are incorporated into the path to enlightenment, or nirvana. Jainism too embraces yoga as a means to attain spiritual liberation. The origins of yoga, however, are a subject of ongoing debate among scholars. 2 primary theories exist: the linear model and the synthesis model. The linear model suggests that yoga has Vedic origins, evolving directly from the ancient rituals and philosophies of the Vedic civilization. On the other hand, the synthesis model proposes that yoga is a blend of Vedic and non-Vedic elements, suggesting that it absorbed influences from various cultural and philosophical traditions over time. Whether it emerged from a single source or was born out of a synthesis of diverse influences, there's no denying the profound impact that yoga has had on millions of lives over the centuries. From the ascetics in the forests of ancient India to the bustling modern yoga studios around the world, the practice of yoga continues to evolve and adapt, touching every corner of the globe. Thus, the origins of yoga are as diverse as the practice itself, with influences from multiple philosophies. The yoga we know and practice today has seen a significant evolution through the centuries. As we journey back in time, between the 9th and 11th centuries, we find the emergence of Hatha yoga texts. This period marked a significant development in the history of yoga, as it presented a more structured approach to the practice. The Hatha yoga texts were not just about physical postures, but they also encompassed a blend of physical, mental, and spiritual exercises aimed at controlling the mind and achieving detached awareness. Moving forward to the early Common Era, we encounter the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. This comprehensive text on yoga has been regarded as a pivotal guide for practitioners. It offers profound teachings that help navigate the path of yoga, emphasizing the importance of stilling the mind and gaining insight. The Yoga Sutras of Patanjali represent a philosophical system of yoga, providing a framework for understanding the mind, the universe, and the self. As we transition to more recent times, we see a shift in the focus of yoga. Modern Hatha yoga, as we know it today, places a significant emphasis on physical postures, or asanas. These asanas have become synonymous with the term yoga in the Western world. However, it's essential to remember that these physical postures are just one aspect of the broader yoga tradition. These asanas serve as tools to enhance physical health, cultivate mental clarity, and promote spiritual growth. Over time, yoga has proven its versatility, adapting to the needs of different eras and cultures. It has transformed from an ancient spiritual practice into a modern tool for health and wellness, yet it has retained its core values and principles. It's this adaptability that has allowed yoga to thrive and remain relevant through the centuries. The evolution of yoga has made it a versatile practice, adapting to the needs of different eras and cultures. The journey of yoga to the Western world marked a pivotal chapter in its history. As the 19th century waned and the 20th century dawned, the West began to experience a cultural and spiritual awakening. Among the various elements that contributed to this shift, one stood out as particularly influential: yoga. The ancient practice, with roots deeply embedded in the Eastern philosophies of Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism, found its way to Western shores, marking a transformative moment in its long and illustrious history. This wasn't just a geographical shift, it was a cultural and philosophical one. Yoga's introduction to the West didn't merely involve the transplanting of an Eastern practice into a Western context. It involved a reinterpretation, a reinvention, and at its core, a renaissance. The focus in the West, particularly as the 20th century progressed, became the modern Hatha Yoga, with an emphasis on physical postures. Western Yoga, as it began to be known, took the physical elements of the ancient practice and brought them to the forefront. The intricate asanas, or postures, became the hallmark of Western yoga, transforming it into a physical discipline that offered not just spiritual, but also tangible health benefits. This shift in focus was a response to the Western world's increasing emphasis on physical fitness and well-being. The beauty of yoga's journey to the West lies in the symbiosis it achieved. It didn't just adapt to the Western culture, it also influenced it, weaving itself into the fabric of the society. Yoga studios started cropping up in every city, classes were held in parks, and yoga became a household term. In the process, yoga managed to bridge the gap between the Eastern and Western cultures. It introduced the West to the philosophies of the East, while also adapting to the needs and demands of the Western lifestyle. It became a tool for stress relief, a method for physical fitness, a path to spiritual enlightenment, and a beacon of wellness. Thus, yoga has not only crossed geographical boundaries but also cultural ones, making it a truly global practice. But what is the ultimate purpose of yoga, you might wonder? Well, the goals of yoga are deeply embedded in its ancient roots. They go far beyond just fitness or flexibility. The ultimate aims of yoga include stilling the mind, gaining insight, and achieving liberation from suffering. These goals align beautifully with the original spiritual purpose of the practice, which is to cultivate a deep sense of inner peace and self-awareness. Let's break these down a bit. Stilling the mind, first and foremost, is a powerful goal of yoga. Through the practice of various postures, breathing exercises, and meditation, yoga encourages us to quiet the constant chatter in our minds. It allows us to find a sense of calm amidst the chaos of everyday life. And in doing so, we become more present, more mindful, and more in tune with ourselves and the world around us. Gaining insight is another profound aspect of yoga. As we delve deeper into our practice, we begin to gain a better understanding of our bodies, our minds, and our inherent nature. This insight can lead to a greater sense of self-love and acceptance, and it can also foster a deeper connection with others and the universe as a whole. Lastly, achieving liberation from suffering is a fundamental objective of yoga. This doesn't mean that we become immune to life's challenges or hardships. Rather, it means that through the practice of yoga, we learn to navigate these challenges with grace, resilience, and equanimity. We learn to detach ourselves from the impermanence of external circumstances, and in doing so, we find a sense of inner freedom and liberation. So, when we talk about the goals of yoga, we're not just talking about mastering a particular pose or increasing our physical strength. We're talking about a holistic journey that encompasses physical, mental, and spiritual growth. A journey that encourages us to delve deeper into our inner selves, to cultivate a sense of peace and calm, and to achieve a state of liberation from the constraints of the external world. In essence, the practice of yoga is a journey towards self-awareness, inner peace, and liberation. As we've seen, yoga is far more than just a physical exercise. It's a journey that transcends time, a practice that has evolved and adapted, yet stayed true to its core values of promoting physical, mental, and spiritual well-being. We've traced its birth in ancient India, its evolution over centuries, its reception in the Western world, and its ultimate goals. Yoga isn't just about striking a pose. It's about striking a balance between the body and the mind, the self and the universe. This holistic practice transcends the realm of fitness, entering the sphere of mindfulness, self-awareness, and liberation from suffering. Its rich and diverse history adds depth to its practice, making it not just an exercise routine, but a lifestyle, a philosophy. Yoga is the harmony of breath and movement, the symphony of stillness and strength. It's an art, a science, a spiritual discipline that helps you navigate the world within and around you. From its ancient Indian roots to its global appeal today, yoga continues to inspire and transform lives, one breath at a time.